These are the required points to express in your ad. Feel free to paraphrase and speak from your own experience. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. So, it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And please make sure, this point, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Do you know the spelling of anchor.fm? ANCHOR.FM. Thank you for your listening. See you. Hello everyone, I'm Richard Gon of Work to Live podcast version. This time, I'd like to talk about that, people like feces. And if you are surprised to know that, or if you're surprised at what I said, I would like to tell you, I'd like to tell you the evidence or, why I'm saying that. And first of all, I will tell you again, that people truly, people like feces. And the reason is that, months before or years before, I created a content which is about a sexual play using fecal matter or feces, which means excrements and vomited stuff or vomits and saliva. There is a sexual play using such things like, what I'm talking about is a sexual play using, for example, vomit or excrements or still another stuff is saliva. Such sexual play is loved or preferred by sadistic ladies and masochistic boys or masochistic men. And such and not only for them, but also not only to them, but also sadistic ladies and masochistic ladies like that sexual play. So considering which people do not, of course, that is really a unique sexual play, which means in most cases or in almost all the cases, people do not do that sexual play using fecal matters or saliva or vomits, but but not recently, so months before, I created the video version of the content about about the sexual play using feces and saliva and vomits, and the number of the views or the number of the plays of the movie or of the video version is 1,000 or more, and I checked out the number of the plays, and the number was 1,300 views, which means that movie has been that video has been played for 1,300 times. Constant based on this fact. This is a fact. This is a fact that such movie about fecal matters or about a sexual play using feces, saliva, and vomits, but has been played. This is a fact. So, which is why I'm telling you that people like feces, and people like vomits, or people like saliva, stuff like them, or people like, so in other words, people like such kind of sexual play. So and moreover, there's another evidence that there's a there's a YouTuber who's there's a YouTuber who is saying that it's good to it's good to eat feces to increase the number of the subscribers on YouTube. Which means people eating feces is people eating feces are really are really rare people. Maybe you can understand it. Maybe you can understand that because at least in my case, there's nobody who eats feces in front of me. So at least maybe there's almost nobody who eats feces or vomit or saliva. So maybe in special cases, such things may occur, like but for example, bullying, like some people may treat some people to eat, for example, feces or vomits or saliva, and in some cases, perhaps insects, stuff like that. So such things might be eaten by some people who had been coerced or threatened by some people else. So considering which sexual play using such dirty stuff or filthy stuff is really a rare one. And but however, considering the number of the views of the video I created, I drew a conclusion, or I concluded that people like feces, and moreover, if you have kids or if you have children, you can understand that kids and children like feces, and particularly particularly you know elementary school students like feces. I mean boys of elementary school students like feces. Maybe if you have boys, you can understand that because boys like dirty stuff or insects or stuff like that, which is why in as instincts as an instinct, humans like such dirty stuff because maybe such videos about such dirty stuff are really interesting and really funny, which is why people watch my which is why people have watched my video, which is why people have watched the video I created. And so maybe some people might have created videos about feces or excrements, saliva, and vomits. In my some people might have created such videos, but so maybe those videos might have earned a lot of views. And in my case, in the case of my channel, the moderate numbers of views are dozens or hundreds of views. So considering which the number of the views exceeding 1,000 is really great in the case of my channel. So in the case of my channel of YouTube, so considering which, so I can give you an advice that if you'd like to start a YouTube, that it might be good to use the topics about feces or saliva or vomits. And in the case I told you that there is a YouTuber who recommends you. There is a YouTuber who recommends you creating videos capturing the figures eating feces. And of course I don't recommend you eating feces because eating feces is really harmful to human bodies. You may get, if you ate feces, you'd get some infectious diseases and some other kinds of diseases. So I don't recommend you eating feces, nor excrements, nor vomit or saliva. Maybe you can understand. You can understand the reason, and you can understand thinking about this situation that the pandemic the pandemic of coronavirus still exists, which is why I don't think you will eat such dirty stuff. And so however, if you'd like to create some contents to make money, of course, to make money on YouTube, please at first, I think you need to follow the terms of the services of YouTube, or the basic rules, or the restrictions of YouTube. You have to follow them, and moreover, but moreover, however, moreover, and if you, some people capture the, some I think this is the case of girls and ladies. Some girls and ladies capture themselves, maybe themselves, you know, drooling, like they they play their own saliva with their mouths, which is really arousing. Which some people find such drooling scenes, or the scenes playing saliva with their lips, really arousing. Some people find arousing the scenes capturing beautiful ladies and beautiful girls playing with saliva, which is why but such sexual movies, but such sexual videos are not recommendable in YouTube nowadays, considering which as I told you, at first you have to follow the restrictions or the rules, fundamental rules of YouTube. So please, please check out the terms of services of YouTube before uploading such, filthy videos, or some kind of erotic videos, if you can create such things. So this is all. This is all the stuff I'd like to tell you. Thank you very much for your listening. See you. If you'd like more information about the episode, please check out the description column of this episode. So in the description column, I give you some additional information about the episode you have just listened.